Depression and anxiety. Are there any alternative ways to deal with it other than drugs and therapy? In this video, you're going to find out. My name is Dr. Story. I've been a chiropractor for over 23 years. I'm going to give you realistic advice based on my experience. There's a saying that depression and anxiety cannot live in the brain when you're in survival mode and have fear. Here's the concept behind that. That when you are in a survival mode, meaning, let's say you're caught out in the woods and you're freezing cold, you have nothing to eat, and you have no shelter, and you're lost. You can't be depressed. You can't have an anxiety attack because, quite frankly, depression and anxiety will kill you. So you go into survival mode. This is the idea behind Wim Hof and cold submersion. So when Wim Hof says go into cold water, jump into a cold ice bath or the ocean, or just take cold baths or showers, the thing about it is that when that happens, you don't have time for depression and anxiety because now your brain goes into survival mode, and suddenly the depression and anxiety don't have a place in the brain. Just like with fear. When you're afraid, let's say a fight or flight syndrome, a tiger starts chasing you, you don't have time to say, oh, I'm depressed, or I'm sad, or I'm having an anxiety attack. There's no time for that. When fear exists in the brain, there's no room for depression and anxiety. So the idea behind this is there are alternative ways of dealing with these things that can complement and supplement drugs and therapy. First of all, go into survival mode. Now, how do you do that? Well, the easiest way is cold showers, or I live by the ocean. You could just jump in the ocean. It's actually quite fun, and I'll tell you what, when you get in that cold water, there is nothing you think about other than getting out of that cold water. But you feel so much better. You feel happy when you are obviously done with it. The second thing is, another idea would be to go camping, let's say. Go to a safe place where you know you're not going to get eaten by a mountain lion and try to camp. Try to start your own fire. Try to don't bring a bunch of stuff. Just bring a sleeping bag and sleep on the dirt or sleep in the grass and see what it's like to actually try to survive without all the normal stuff. Maybe don't eat for the entire night and see how you like it. Well, guess what? Your body is going to be in survival mode, and there's no place for depression and anxiety. Same thing with fear. Now, you don't want to be chased by tigers because sometimes the tigers win. There's an old joke about you don't have to outrun the tiger, you just have to outrun your friend. And I always thought that was funny. But the point is that you want to do something that's scary, that creates fear in your brain, but it's not super dangerous. Now, one of the ways to do that is to do something that you've never done before. Many people have never signed up for a 5K run. So a good example would be to find a 5K run that's about a month away and don't even train for it. Sign up for it. Guess what? Now the fear starts. You're going to have to figure out a way to do that 5K. And if you can only walk around the block, you're in deep trouble. Because you know what? You may fail. People may judge you. And guess what? This is real life. You may fail and you might be judged. So you better get out there. And you know what happens is when you set yourself a goal in advance and then have to try to figure out how to achieve that goal, there's a lot of fear involved in that. And when there's fear, there's no anxiety or depression. You don't have time. This is very similar to, there's another saying that logic and emotion cannot exist in the brain at the same time. So for example, when you're emotional and you're angry at someone, it's difficult to be logical. Likewise, logic is not something that exists with emotion. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your opinion is of this. Let me know if you have found ways to help with depression and anxiety that if you put in the comment section, maybe it'll help someone. Please share this on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I greatly appreciate it.